Hello and welcome to this video. I'm filming this video today because many of you are already going back to school, depends where you are in the world. I go back to university in October, so still a while away, and I don't know how that's going to look like yet, so I don't know what's happening in my case, but a lot of people are going back to school, back to university, or they're not going back to university or school. They're still going to have online classes, or it's going to be like a mixture. Those are the three options that we have. So I thought I would film a video on some advice on how you can adjust to having to go through online learning again, or just some advice on how to cope with that, or how to stay focused and have a successful academic year or school year despite the challenges that could come out of this current situation, or with your school situation or university, I don't know, whatever it may be. So this is what this video is about. Advice on how to cope, prepare for, deal with online learning. Some of this advice is just general advice that applies to this situation as well. Some of this advice is like advice that helped me and stuff that I did that helped me to get through the past semester, so hopefully you can get something out of this video. And I don't know, I want to help people to reduce, I guess, the stress, so I hope this video helps. I thought I would just say at the beginning, like, we know the three kind of scenarios that could possibly be. Keep in mind that if you may be going back now, or you may already be back and things may be kind of normal, keep in mind that they may change, they may not change, but do keep that in mind and be aware that, like, we didn't predict what was going to happen last semester, so keep that in mind that life is unpredictable and we have no idea what's going to happen. So the first is to do with Wi-Fi. Don't panic if your Wi-Fi stops working. This is something I did. I was having a test or an exam and my Wi-Fi stopped working, so I couldn't submit my work. My reaction was very stressful, and that could have been avoided if I was like, it's gonna be fine, because in the end I did manage to do the test. It was extra stress, but there was a solution to the problem, and it's best if you don't panic and save yourself the worry. Like, there is a solution, because it's understandable that these problems happen, and if your teachers don't understand that, then sometimes they won't. I feel like that's unfair. Not everyone has access to amazing internet, or they live in an area where there is good internet, or I don't know, so many life problems. I do hope that professors and teachers are going to be more understanding, especially like we've been through this before, so they can learn from that experience. So try not to panic when things go wrong. Easier said than done, I know, but especially things that are out of your control. It's difficult, but I like to believe that maybe it's an opportunity for you to learn to not stress out about little things. The next advice is to hold yourself accountable. So you are the only one who can get this work done. It's weird not being in like a physical building at school or at university, but like when it comes to work that you have to do, you're the only one who can do the work, and it takes work and self-motivation, but maybe this is a way that you can learn to be more disciplined and practice your time management. This can be done with the use of planners or timetables or calendars or schedules or whatever. If you are going to be learning from home, make a timetable that works around your school timetable or university timetable. So use up all the time, like you might even have some extra time with, like, you don't have to get the train or bus. That is extra time that you can use, and do keep a note of that in your schedule. If you are going to be having normal lessons, then again, you can practice your time management with the days that you have off. It can be a great opportunity for you to become more focused or dedicated with actually sticking to a timetable or something like that. I don't know if this makes sense, but it can be a way for you to practice that time management. Create a regular study space. Now this, I think I've mentioned this already before in a different video, but do keep your study space clean and clutter-free and don't have any distractions around you. I know, again, this isn't applicable to everyone because not everyone has a suitable place in their home to study. Even if you are using your bed to study, make sure you get rid of distractions. So do everything you can to make the space that you have, make it as suitable as you can so that you can actually use it to study and not get distracted. The next bit of advice is to eliminate distractions. I kind of said this already. Turn off your phone. I struggled with this so much. My phone would be next to me and I would just be like, no, I don't want to listen to this. I'm just gonna do something else. So do try to get rid of distractions. Put your phone in another room. Turn off any electronics that could potentially distract you. The next piece of advice is actually something I haven't been doing, but try to participate as much as you can. So if you are having your classes online, do try to ask questions. I know it's more difficult actually because like people speak all at once, and then like for me that makes me not want to speak. Like if there is any way for you to participate and it can help you, then do try to do that. Like an example of something I did was we could volunteer to do a presentation, and I didn't know that it was like voluntary. I thought you had to, so that's why I volunteered. But it turns out it was good that I volunteered because it helped me get a better grade. So sometimes, like especially if participation is required for you to get a better grade, then do try to do that. And even if it is like a presentation, I don't do presentations, they terrify me. But I feel like an online presentation was less scary, although I still was very scared. It was still a very stressful experience, but it definitely does take away some of the stress that you may have when you have a normal presentation. Next thing to remember is to get out of your house. Currently it's summertime. I know when winter comes, no one wants to leave the house. I certainly don't. It gets very cold where I live, so I don't want to leave the house at all. And if it comes to having remote learning during winter, we kind of did have that already with March, but like the very cold months, I don't know how that's gonna look like because it just makes life so gloomy wintertime. And I love winter, I love the snow, but anyway. But do try to do something that is going to get you out of the like school mindset. For example, if you were to be having normal classes, you probably would travel, walk between classes, so you would be moving around and getting some fresh air. But if you're just stuck at home, you can't do that, and we don't know what's the situation going to look like in the future. But even if it is just like a walk around where you live, that is quite good, and you could even incorporate that into your daily routine, that you go just doing something that will get you moving and not stuck at home. Here's just a reminder, check your emails regularly. If you're someone who forgets, set a reminder to check your email every day because you might get an important announcement or a message. I don't know, like things change really quickly, so just keep an eye on your emails. I kind of talked about this already, but make a daily routine. If you are staying home for like half the week, have a routine for those days, and then for the days where you are traveling or you are at university, I don't know, or at school, then make a routine for those days. And then they're two different routines, but it keeps you motivated and it helps you to stick to your goals and not fall behind. It's quite important. And I know like people can become obsessive over routines. Like I tend to, like if I make a plan, I just really want to stick with it. I don't like things disrupting things, so don't like be too invested in that, but do have some sort of routine so it helps you to just get used to life. And you might already know this because we've been through half a year of remote learning already. You may have noticed that yes, keeping routine really does help me. Have a weekly checklist, or like I don't want to say to-do list because I always say that, but like have a checklist of things that you need to get done. So this is what I would do. It got a bit complicated though, not gonna lie. I would do it on my computer, so I would have like every day written down and the classes I would have every day, and then I would write down things that I needed to do for that class every day. Although it didn't work for me towards exams because then it just got a bit chaotic. But you don't want to do a to-do list, although it is kind of a to-do list. It just, I don't know, or write it in your calendar, like the things that you need to do that day. That's still kind of a to-do list. I'm trying not to use the word to-do list because I always talk about them. You could use a to-do list, but like make it work for you. So I guess that's what I'm trying to say. Now this one's important. Get enough sleep and get up at the same time that you would normally. If you at school would get up at 6 a.m. every day, then try to do that even with remote learning, because it really just, it reinforces that routine and kind of makes life feel normal. Like it would if you were going to school. I guess it depends what works for you. Don't go to bed really late. Nearly the last bit of advice is to ask for help. This doesn't really work at university. Ask for help, like if you're in sixth form this might work, and at school it might work better, but ask for help if you're really struggling with whatever it is, emotionally, the content, like anything. There are people there for you and they are there to help you, and I hope that they do understand. I know not everyone is like that, and that's really upsetting, but I hope that the people that you have around you are understanding. And I guess the last advice or the last reminder is to just look after yourself and emotionally, mentally look after yourself. And when things get too overwhelming, do reach out to people. There are people there to help you, and you're never alone. Even when it feels like you are, there is always someone there to help you. And if you've watched this far, I really hope that this message gets to you, and just know that you are loved and there are people there to help you. Remote learning, like for a lot of people, it could be another emotional, difficult time. I just want to say that there is someone there always for you, even if it doesn't feel like there is anyone, like I said. I wish you all a lovely, amazing academic school year ahead of you, and I just hope things will be okay, I guess. So, thank you for watching.